Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Happy freaking Monday to each and every one of you. What an exciting time to be an early adopter in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. Listen, my friends, you and I, we're playing a game that 99.99% of the masses, they don't even know is being played. And we are winning. I heard a guy on YouTube the other day saying, this is a young dude, early 30s, that most of his friends do not own. The vast majority of his friends do not own any digital assets. It's like, wow, young people? Wow, it's crazy. I'm telling you, we're so far ahead. You don't even know. You don't even know. We are so far ahead. It's crazy. Listen, what's going on with the market right now? I don't know. Is Bitcoin to 60K anymore? I don't think it is. We'll go over to CoinGecko, check out some of the numbers over there, but I don't think it is. I don't think that it is any longer. We'll go over that. Yeah, got that dirty, nasty fiat. Still have not dispersed and made that purchase yet. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. See how it goes. Yeah. In any case, yeah, I did get that. So we're gonna do it. It was not 7 business days like they said. I guess that's to keep it safe. It was actually just 3, which is what they usually say. But they started changing that to 7 last couple of years. But it's not taking 7 days. So that's good to know. What else we got? Some stuff going on with X. Dan Rocky shared a little borrowing lending strategy. It's it's well known in the DeFi space, but I'll share it with you guys for sure. WenMoon equals Wen Liquidity. WenMoon equals Wen Liquidity. I think we're going to hear a little bit from our guy, Julian Patel. We'll hear from Raul Paul on the whole liquidity front, if I remember to do so. We're going to go over some comments from a fan of the channel. We're going to go over those. I think it's important for a couple of reasons, for sure. But we're going to go over someone from the family, from the Crypto Siege channel, fan of the channel, who has some comments. So we're going to go over those and cover those comments with you. Caught me a little off guard, to be honest with you, but we'll go over those. Guys, I appreciate you checking in today. Do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. That'd be super, super cool. We always like to have just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream. Appreciate you guys being here for sure. What else we got going on? I guess we'll do a little minting and redeeming on the Flare beta demo app, F Assets demo app. We'll do a little minting and redeeming over there as well. So it's gonna be really, really cool. Really, really cool stuff, man. I appreciate you guys again being here. I'm gonna let more people hop on before we well, let's refresh CoinGecko now, make sure those numbers are correct. Yeah, that's just 57 for BTC. 57. Take a little pinch of some BTC there. I'm trying to figure. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. 57 is good. Is Sui back under $1? Is Sui no $6? Oh, okay. It is what it is. All right. Yeah, so that's refreshed. Let's refresh back to bubbles while you guys are checking in. Well, what do we got? We got the top 100. I'm gonna FTW. What the world? I don't know what FTW is. Let me refresh. What is FTW? Top 100 market cap. Year to date outpacing Bitcoin. All right, so that's refreshed as well. The Muskegon Aristocrat is in the building. How are you, my friend? Bank Money XRP is here. What's good, my guy? What's good? Got that going on there, so that's good. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Dan Rocky's strategy. Again, that's not a new strategy, but he did share it on X. It's not new to DeFi. So we'll go over that, cover some stuff on Crypto X. I'm trying to think, what should we do first? Should we go over the comments in this video first? Comments on my videos from a fan of the channel. Should we go over that first? I think the CEO and founder of XP Markets followed the crypto siege the other day. That was pretty cool. What's going on, PolySign, man? It's just not great. Just not a great look going on right now, huh? So apparently it went to zero. What happened? How does it go to zero? What happened there? Like, how does it go to zero? What happened? Uh, like, what happened there? Did it get dissolved? Why did it get dissolved? Did they not have, were they not signing people up? Like, what happened over at PolySign? Supposed to be, technology with Arthur Riddle and David Schwartz. I mean, technology is technology. So what happened? Did they not get customers? That's a very weird thing here but happened with PolySign. But a lot of people want to blame the influencers. Like, what happened there? What happened behind the scenes, behind closed doors over at PolySign for that to go to zero? One XRP says, I wonder what the digital asset investor and digital perspectives are saying after all the shilling and not a word about Flare. That's the challenge, right? That's the challenge that I said that those dudes backed themselves up into a corner, um, took a look around and didn't like it, and they started blaming their subscribers for it. Like, if you take on Link2 as a sponsor, I'm sure there's awesome people over at Link2. I'm sure Link2 is out there trying to gain market share and win in the game. If you do a sponsorship with Link2 and your job is to promote the stuff that they got on the platform, and if you're in a position to only say the good, you can't say the bad and the ugly, that's the challenge. If you can't be honest and fair, if you can only, you can only talk about sunshine and white fleecy clouds and blue skies. That's a problem. That is a problem. Their decision to not share Flare networks, I don't. Again, I don't understand it. I don't understand it other than Flare is not on LinkedIn, right? Like, I don't know. I don't. Flare Networks is doing the greater good. In fact, their main emphasis, I would say, is Bitcoin and XRP, right? The non-smart contract chains and bringing relevance to the asset and to the chain, of that chain, like BTC, the asset, and XRP, the asset to Bitcoin blockchain and to the XRPL. So that I called it out. I said, look, you're sharing about Link2 and you're sharing about I Trust Capital like 1,000 to 1 to Flare Networks. Doesn't make any sense to me. But it is what it is, family. It is what it is. So I'm going to let a couple more people hop on here before I think I'm going to go to the comments. But let's see if I can find a video that I want to share with you guys about liquidity. Let me see if I can find it. Got Cryptoetti up here. RAOULPAL. Journey. Is it 2 words? Journey, man. Is it 2 words? Is it 2 words? Um, Hack your investing with this. Yeah, this is the one that's 4 days ago. No, I don't want to do that. What's going on here? Um, Let me find that video. Um, why does it not show me? the channel. Let's go here real quick.
Hi, it's Raul. Guess what?
What?
I can't believe, but we're turning 10 at Real Vision this September.
Yeah, this is the one. I think Julian Patel is in here. Julian Brigden? I thought the dude's name was Julian Patel. Am I missing something? Hold on.
Julian, I can't even remember anymore. A couple of years ago, and said, listen, why don't you come and work with me at Global Macro Investor, and let's really change the world in how people understand the business cycle and how it applies to macro investing and crypto investing and how it fits.
Okay, I thought his name was, where am I getting Julian Patel from? This says Julian Brigdens. My God, my bad, Julian. All right, so I got that pulled up as well. So we'll share that for the WenMoon, Wen Liquidity thing. Mr. XRP All-In is in the building. What's good, my guy? Do we have bad luck or what? Do we have bad luck or what? We should have won that game. Our field goal and our extra points kicker pulls a hamstring and we don't have a backup. What the world? What's going on with that? New York Football Giants. We should be 1-1 right now. Ooh, the Muskegon Aristocrat says, I'm thinking about selling my algo for Flare. Interesting stuff. We're going to cover some Flare stuff because I think that I've been pretty clear in my assessment of Flare and my assessment of the 90-10 strategy that I think most people and most retail people should consider, right? 90% top three and network adoption. Top three and network adoption. Top three and daily active users, which is a metric for top three and network adoption. Rick Cisneros said that Brad Kime said on his YouTube channel that he does not promote Flare because he doesn't want to get sued from a coin that does not have regulatory clarity. He is not against it. Well, I remember when he said that, but tell me how that makes sense. He was sharing XRP before it had regulatory clarity. We all was sharing XRP before it had regulatory clarity. And we all shared videos about XRP while it was being sued by the United States government. We still shared it. He does videos on XLM. XLM, they don't have regulatory clarity. At least he mentions XLM in his videos. Casino Coin he was promoting for a while. Casino Coin got regulatory clarity. So now I do believe that he is not against it, the token or the project. But there's, in my humble opinion, there's a reason why he's not sharing it. And I think it's because he's backed up in a corner. And he just doesn't like the view. In my opinion. But anyways, Alex Jeet's in the building. What's going on, bro? How are you? I listened to that this morning, Bank Money XRP. Bank Money XRP says, Jungle Inc. dropped a great video yesterday. Yeah, that was yesterday? Yesterday about Flare, Sui, and Aptos. Yeah, I listened to that this morning during my exercise zing. Yeah. We're going to cover that because we're going to cover some stuff from a fan of the channel that has some comments that were a little alarming to me, to be quite honest. But we're going to go over those comments. We're going to go over let's go over the market and banner bubbles and then the comments. This way it'll give some more people a chance to hop on. So go over the markets according to Coin freaking Gecko. I don't know why my eye keeps watering up like that. It's a very odd thing. Go here. Let's go to CoinGecko. All right, now we just refreshed this, so this is approximately to the second. According to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is down 5%. Well, how about that? And is that 2.11 trillion? The Bitcoin dominance is over 54%, 55 or so percent. Bitcoin is currently trading at $57,798 again. In under 30-day, it's down 2.8%. Ethereum is at 2,000, is trading at $2,290 again. On a 30-day, it's down 12%. Solana is trading at $130 again. In under 30 days, Solana is down 7%. XRP, the beloved, is trading at 57 cents. And on the 30-day, XRP is up 1%. How about that? How freaking about that? How about that? So I'm thinking out loud about adding to my position in SUI, thinking out loud about adding to my position in Ethereum. I got to look at the numbers. I got to look at the total for this run, right? Like this run, how much ETH am I going to have this cycle? How much BTC am I going to have this cycle? How much Solana do I have this cycle? And it feels like my Solana is too underweight in reference and in comparison to ETH and Bitcoin. That's what I'm feeling right now. That's what I'm feeling like now. And my SUI position is less than $500. So you know how we talk. My FLR position is more than my freaking SUI position. So anyway. All right, let's go to Banner Bubbles real quick. Let's see what's good. I'm thinking out loud because I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do with this little dirty nasty fiat. All right, so according to Banner Bubbles, this is stuff year to date that in the top 100, this is just the top 100 coins in terms of market cap and how they are faring year to date in relation to BTC. All right, meme coin is Popcat. Meme coin is Bonk. I believe both are on Solana, but I'm not sure. WIF, I know, is on Solana. Meme coin, 22,000%, crazy numbers. Mantra, I'm told, is actually an R freaking WA play, which I did not know, and I do not have a freaking position. Brett is a meme coin on base. So we got 4 meme coins that are 4-figure percentage gains or higher. And it looks like FTW is a meme coin, but I have no idea. I don't know what it is. Don't know. Now, I like to cover the 100% or higher. Doesn't mean that you're 70%. It's not great. I mean, outdoing Bitcoin is outdoing Bitcoin, especially if you're in the top 100. Even if it's 30%, it's still outdoing, right? All right, so let's try to do this. Ordi is a Bitcoin play, 316% year to date up. That's nice. That's nice versus BTC. That's nice. That is nice. All right, so 310, 100% or more. FET, Artificial Super Intelligent Ocean Protocol, FET, and I forget the third one. Golly, I always forget the third one. But anyway, rebranding to Artificial Super Intelligence. In fact, the 3-letter ID will change to ASI here in a matter of months. 151%. That's pretty good. What do we got? Undo, 90%. That's my RWA play. 90% over BTC. I said I would only cover 100. Pepe is a meme coin, 386%. Again, I do this because of my thesis that altcoins that are outpacing Bitcoin year to date will probably continue to do so through the next 15 months throughout the rest of the bull run. All right, so we got that. Let's go down here to the bottom. What we got here? BitTensor, 138%. 100% or more. Let's see, go up top. Helium Network, 128%. My ROE is just under, which is AI play. It's not just file storage, it's AI. In fact, they may have transitioned to AI. 96%. That's an honorable mention, right? If I'm going to cover Ondu. All right, Helium Network, 128%. Floki is a meme coin. So that's about 6 meme coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meme coins. 7 if you count this FTW. I don't know what it is. Jasmine is the Internet of Things play. Some say it's a deep-end play. 141%. It's a shame what happened to Ton because of that stupid imagine to that guy. Solana 214%. And that looks about it at 100% or more. It looks about it. Interesting to see Sui up here positive at 7%. So, in any case, there it is. There it is. There. Is that the one I want? Yeah. Comments. Is this chat right? Is this chat good? Let me do this. Let me put this on live. Oh, it might be my internet. It's got to be my internet. All right, so let me try and do this. All right, so let's do this. Get rid of a couple of things here. Get rid of Banner Bubbles. Get rid of CoinGecko. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so this is I'm going to share some go review some comments from the channel. I think it's important, again, for me, I've always said, if people are going to take their time, energy to respond to your videos, you should take the time to, kind of respond back, right? Type deal. And I noticed that someone from the channel was commenting, and it kind of caught me off guard a little bit. So I wanted to cover a few of the comments. But I do think it's important that if people are going to take their time, again, the energy and resources to watch your videos, add comments, that you should take the time to respond. Certainly read them and respond, right? All right, so that's 7 days old. Again, and this is from Property Rich, who checks in the channel. I believe this is a guy that lives in Austria, right? And I want to cover a couple of like 3 comments here and see what's going on here and why. Like these comments are, again, it's like they're a little alarming to me. But anyway, let's cover a few of these. Property Rich says, I have a simple question to you. Regards to I think he was saying borrowing. He says boring, but I think he meant borrowing because it's borrowing the money to buy Bitcoin, right? So you guys remember on the channel that I said, me personally, first of all, it's 2 things. I said, me personally, I have a unique financial product, right? That sways and swings heavily, advantageously to me, the owner of this financial asset, right? And that I would not do it in traditional financing, right? Now, a couple of things that I mentioned was of why I wouldn't do that is because I'm not trying to fill out some application and be interviewed, sitting in an office somewhere with some dude on the other side of some table determining whether or not I am deserving and I am worthy of money, right, for a loan. That right, not happening. Not happening, right? I'm not trying to do that, right? So those were just kind of a couple of reasons why I said that I brought up the unique situation that I have, right? So I'm in a position because I own a dividend paying cash value policy, right? That allows me as the owner of the company, right? To borrow. I feel like I should say this without the sharing. To borrow against the value of my financial instrument, which is a life insurance policy, right? Again, as an owner of the company, right, I am afforded the opportunity to borrow against the value of my policy, right? And some of the benefits of being able to borrow is number one, access, the ability to borrow. It's guaranteed as part of being an owner of the policy. So there is no having to do an interview. There is no having to do a credit check. There is no having to go through hoops and hops and all that stuff. It's put your name, how much you want, where do you want it to go to? That is it, right? Another benefit for owning this particular financial instrument is the borrow rate is really, really good at 5%. But when I borrow, let's say I have a policy that's valued at $500,000 and I borrow $1,000 and I say, well, I want to borrow $1,000. How much is the policy worth now? How much is the value in the policy worth? Is a better way of putting it. Or most people would say 499,999, right? But that's not true. In this particular financial interest, the value of the policy does not change with borrowing. Doesn't go down. The value stays the same. Okay. So that's like 3 benefits that I just mentioned, right? Just important to note this. So not only does the value not go down, the value of the policy is going up because it's not guaranteed, but there's dividends that come every year for having the policy. So might be 4% in dividends, it might be 5% in dividends, might be a better year with 6% or 7% in dividends. So again, I'm borrowing, I'm taking money and I'm borrowing, right? The value doesn't change. You understand? The value would only change from borrowing if I exercise another one of my options in owning this financial instrument. And that is, I don't have to pay back what I borrow. It will get deducted when I pass away from the value if I don't pay it back. When I pass away, right? The reason why I got these policies is because of all the advantages, what the world? All the advantages of someone who knows how to exercise those advantages while you're living. For me, the main purpose of this thing is not just the awesomeness of having life insurance and death benefits that go to my family, but what I can do while I'm living with the thing, right? So that's the only time the value would go down. If I decide I'm not going to pay it, they would take that $1,000 out from the benefits, the death benefits that go to the beneficiary, right? So they would take $1,000 out if I didn't pay that back, right? So just understand that. The other thing that is advantageous is when I pay it back, I can pay this interest, the 5% interest. I forget the type of interest that it's called. I forget it, but it's not like a normal bank loan at 5%. I don't want to say deferred, but in any case, the interest doesn't start until 12 months after the borrow date. So it's not start. It's not due It's not due. $1,000, 5%, $50. That $50 is not due until the 12th month. It's not owed until the 12th month. So in the 10th month or the 11th month of the 27th day, if I pay it back, there is no interest owed. That's another benefit. Okay? That's another benefit. And again, this is something that I have access to, which is why I would not tell people to do something somewhere else who doesn't have all of those advantages in terms of what we're going to discuss here, which he brought up, was borrowing for BTC. So you guys remember when I said I'm going to do a little case study on borrowing and buying BTC, because my understanding of BTC is that borrowing at 5%, purchasing BTC, who has a net year-over-year return of 40 to 50%. 40% on the low side, 50%, whatever, right? Seems like a good deal, right? And if my understanding, in addition to the 40, 50%, is if you borrow at the right time during a 4-year cycle, not only are you going to get the 40 to 50% year-over-year return, but you're going to get about a 2.5 to 5x, 2.5 to 4x on the BTC as well. So for me, in my personal situation, that 5% is nothing. It's a good bet, is the way I see it, right? So he says, I have a simple question to you regarding the borrowing to buy Bitcoin. If you know that was so good, why don't you put your house up and just do that? Put your house up and do that. I said, because putting my house up is not borrowing in an environment where I, as the borrower, is in complete control. He says, Crypto Seas, no, the real reason is because you know it's not a good idea. If it was, you would. Why think about Bitcoin going up 2x when FLR needs to go back to 5 cents to do a 3x Bitcoin? To do a 3x. Bitcoin going to 140K is a very big ask. Right? FLR going to do a 10x is not. Then I understand why he's saying all of this. He's saying all of this because he sold the house. I sold the house to buy FLR. And I would do it again. There are not many tokens you can really say that for, right? And I said, all you're looking at is the potential upside. Potential spelled with a Y. That's not what sophisticated investors do. They always protect for the potential downside. FLR, the token, has not proven itself to the market, bro. Bitcoin has. It's all about choosing the assets with the best risk-adjusted returns. You guys have heard me say this. 90% of dirty, nasty fiat goes to those assets. 10% for me in the crypto season zone goes to other assets like FLR. Right? Now he says, you put it the way you see it because that's only the way you want to see it. Good luck. Like you said, it's proven itself. So sell your house and go all in. So again, he's not understanding. He's not understanding. Selling a house is not the same thing as borrowing money in an environment where you completely are in control. There's all kinds of variables in selling a home. All kinds of risk, all kinds of downsides to selling a home. What he's talking about here is why think about Bitcoin going 2x when FLR only needs to go back to 5 cents? What he's talking about here is the upside and not the downside. And it's not, from my understanding and my learning, it's not just about the wins. It's about avoiding the losses, right? It's not just about the wins, it's about avoiding losses. In addition to that, I've said on the channel, how many times have I said on the channel that discovering what I have discovered and what I've been learning from people with tens of millions of dollars and hundreds of millions of dollars is that I have decided that I'm wrongly weighted in my portfolio, right? I've been sharing this for months that I needed to change my portfolio strategy and be more weighted in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana than I am in my altcoins, where it was the other way around. I was more weighted in the altcoins, right? Not factoring in the risk-adjusted return. So I went on a journey to do that. And the bar and the BTC is another way to help with getting that weighted correctly, right? So let me cover another one. Okay, now here's another one here. It says, make sure I'm doing this right. It's amazing how you want to be in every pool. Haven't you learned from the Celsius crap? The smartest money is the safest money. I put my FLR in one way, and that is delegate and take the airdrops monthly. No risk, no work needed, sleep while it works. 100K flare each month, okay, right? So that kind of deal, right? So here's what I'll say to this strategy, right? If you know what's coming to FLR, you could really have what's your biggest, right? If you know what's coming to FLR, you would only really have that as your biggest pot. Only have FLR he's saying here. Go back 8 years to ETH and you knew what was going to happen with ETH. You would not be chasing all other tokens being built on. You would only be betting, or you would only be getting as much ETH as you can, because it's the underlying asset that is needed more. So back to the FLR, this is the pot, not chasing all of the pots. He's talking about liquidity pools. Are you getting 100,000 FLR each month? When that goes to 10 cents, that's 10 each month. So I understand what he's saying here about FLR. So he's all in on FLR, right? I didn't share that. I should have shared that. Right. So he's all in on FLR. You can tell here, right? Sold his house to get for FLR. He's getting, sounds like to me, he's getting 100,000 FLR every month. Right. So he's all in on FLR. Right. And what he's saying is these pools, why would you need to be in these pools? He says all he does is wrap and get the monthly FLR, right? I put my flare in only one way, and that is delegate and take the airdrops monthly, no risk, no work needed, sleep while it works, right? And because apparently he's going over a video where I was talking about maybe some liquidity pools like SFLR and SFLR Jewel and things like that. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go to the next comment. This is same day something. He says, what I just heard you say is what an idiot would say on investing. You want to DCA in 2026, four figures. Wow. Now let's just say FLR went to 15 cents. That's 10x from where it is today. So you are telling me buy 10K is better than buying the same amount today for 1,000. Now let's take it to 2026, and that price is $1.50. That's 100 extra money is not going. very far and you miss out on 16 more airdrops. I'm not sure if he's understanding what I'm saying in the videos here. That will take your money today to greater heights. Sorry, C's. Now I know you're a reasonably smart guy and listen to you, though what you're saying is totally wrong way to economics, right? So what I said in reference to the DCA thing is that I was going to begin to dollar cost average into FLR 4K, right? So it's a couple of reasons 4K, not 4K, 4 digits. I hope I didn't say 4K, 4 digits. So $1,000 a month. There's two reasons for that, right? Number one reason is 2026 is, right? That's going to begin mid to late, going to begin, prices is going to be coming down, et cetera, et cetera. Now, what he's not understanding is I said on plenty of videos as well that, and I want to clear this up just so he understands, right? I've said this a few times in videos, if you're tuning in, that I can't buy more FLR today because I'm focusing on shoring up my position in DeFi, right? So any dirty, nasty fiat I get, I'm shoring that up. I'm making sure that those DeFi positions are good, right? I'm making sure they're good. When they're good, like I think I just mentioned the other day that I got my nice balance right. Now I can begin to buy, put FLR in that 10% of my 90%, right? It's important, right? So you got to shore some stuff up. So maybe he missed that. Maybe he didn't watch some of his videos where I said that I need to shore some stuff up. And I think I even mentioned it one time when I had Steve on interviewing Steve. I said I got to shore some stuff up before I begin buying more FLR. I've already bought FLR, by the way. I've already bought FLR, right? I already have close to 200,000 FLR with Celsius as well, right? So from back when the whole airdrop thing, right? Just understand that too. But shoring your position is important for sure. Me saying I'm going to DCA big numbers for FLR is my conviction for FLR and where it's going to be. But here's the bottom line to it all. FLR is not a proven asset. The FLR token is not a proven asset. It's out in the market looking to grab market share. It's way down the risk curve. No matter how awesome the team, no matter how awesome the technology, no matter how awesome the vision and the dream and where it wants to go and what it's going to do and what it's going to look to accomplish, it's way down that curve. And what I have discovered is it's not about the wins. So everybody is always focused, and this is what Guy Spear said, hugely successful investor, world-renowned investor. Everybody is focused on the upside, and they're not focusing on the downside. He also says, and he recommends a great book to understand this as well, he also says that it's not about the wins or the size of the wins, it's about the losses. And you want to get into not only a mindset, but a habit of avoiding the losses, right? Avoiding the losses. He had a very, very interesting thing that he said as well. He said, there's a reason why people still invest in Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Because they don't take the L's. It's just this consistent little slow thing that's up and to the right. The challenge, in my opinion, is not protecting for the downside. And when people win with FLR, and they're going to be people who are going to win with FLR big, is the habit and continuation of taking those risks. they love, right? Is that continuation in mindset and habit of taking those risks. Let me give an example of what might be what people like people like Gary Cardone would say is risky. It's hugely risky. Is selling your home to buy FLR. They would say that that is risky, right? Right? Because it hasn't proven itself. This is why I've said on the channel a couple of times now. I'm alarmed at the people who are petrified about buying XRP at $5 and $10. Petrified. Of buying XRP at $5 and $10. Why would you be petrified of buying XRP at $5 or $10 when some of the most successful, some of the richest people in the world are buying Bitcoin at $65,000? I've had two people tell me, we're talking 50 million net worth, 200 million net worth, tell me that the best purchase of Bitcoin was at $65,000, that it wasn't at $600, that it wasn't at $1,000, that it was not at $3,000, that it was not at $30,000. Why would they say that? Why would they say that the best purchase of Bitcoin was at $65,000? Why would they say that? Because at 65,000, institutions, Wall Street, net worth, people with high net worth and ultra high net worth individuals recognize that it had become the best risk adjusted return asset. At 65. That's why my friend, the friend of the channel, is saying he's going through all these economic math numbers, but he's not, why would you do something in 2026 when FLR could be 15 cents, could be 50 cents, could be 60 cents? He's not accommodating, he's not factoring in the risk adjusted return. He's not factoring that in. That's why I've been saying, have I not been saying on the channel, we're going on a journey together on becoming a sophisticated investor. Because a sophisticated investor looks to protect the downside, not just the upside. That's all. The allure and the illusion of the game, right? That 20x. You realize how many people in crypto since 2017 scoff at little disdain 10x's, 7x's, 7x. Bitcoin's only going to do 5x, 3x. Do you understand? Like, couldn't be bothered. Couldn't be bothered with a little 7x. Do you know how often that goes on in the digital asset space? Goes on a bunch. Like, don't you got to ask yourselves, how does a hedge fund become a hedge fund? How do people, successful ones, how do people get into high net worth and ultra high net worth? Is it because they don't know what they're talking about? How do they get, how does hedge funds get people to invest in them? Sure, you got friends and family do it because they're friends and family. What about the others? If you got the major institutions of the world, financial world, right? Investing in Bitcoin at 60 something thousand dollars. How did they become these huge, massive institutions of the world? Is it because they don't know what they're talking about? Do you think that they don't know about XRP going from whatever to whatever, and was it 67,000% gain or 57,000? You think they don't know about that? It's XRP in the top two or three for years. You think they don't know about that? Why did they settle on Bitcoin? Right? Because they got a massive responsibility of other people's money. And they're saying the best risk adjusted return, not the best returns, the best risk adjusted returns is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some say include Solana in that mix. Right? Now, here's the deal. When they start saying XRP, they're saying it because XRP has entered into one of those best risk adjusted returns assets. So if they're not saying that about XRP, why would they be saying that about FLR? Now, for me, I do 90-10%. Some others I know are doing 70 and 30, 80 and 20. Some are like, I'm just 50-50, man. I'm young. I'm 20 something. I'm doing 50-50. I'm doing 50% Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and other 50%, I'm doing these small to mid-size caps. That's their thing. That's what they're good with. That's what they do. That's what they do. Right? Again, it's about risk-adjusted returns. As far as I'm learning and what I'm seeing, that's the mantra. Right? Because I feel like it's guarding against. Now, tell me, if you make a high risk bet, which is FLR, with all your money, again, a high risk bet is all your money in FLR. You understand? It's all your money in all the other things besides Bitcoin, Ethereum, and or Solana. B's in the building. What's going on, my friend? right? You understand? According to these sophisticated investors, that's what it is, right? That's a risk. What if you win? What if you are freaking, what if you win? Like, what if you, like, here's the thing that I'll say. There, the people in the meme coin space, you ever listen to the people in the meme coin space? Oh, Property Rich is here. Let me finish my thought. You ever talk to the people in meme coin space? You ever listen to them on videos? Like, that's high risk, right? But boy, they are so amped about that win. They don't care about the losses. They're so amped up about the win. And these are, by the way, there are people who are dedicating their channel and themselves to the trading bots, the meme coin, what do they call it? Flash bot trading, whatever that stuff is. Dedicated to it. Dedicated to it. Right? And I believe that the Gary Cardones and the Raul Pauls and the Dan Tapieros and the Anthony Scaramucci's and the Ron Krugers and the Guy Spears of the world are saying you have to protect yourself from that kind of thinking, where the only thing you're thinking about is the win and not the L. That's what I'm getting from those dudes. And again, this guy, Spirit Guy, is not in crypto. He's just giving sophisticated investor advice, right? He ran around with when Munger was around him, Munger and Buffett. Yeah, right. And he's, got a channel. He's lending out his decades and decades and decades of experience of investing, right? That's the issue. That's what they're sharing. Property Rich says, Siege, no, I'm not all in FLR. I have a lot of XRP. Like I said to you, although you did not want to read out the full message, I sold the house and put in the loose change from the sale. I read the whole message, bro. I read the whole message. I sold a house and put the loose change from the sale. The loose change. Do you mean like, I don't know what you mean by loose change. Do you mean like the profit from selling the home? I'm not sure what you mean. Maybe you mean the profit of selling a home. Right. But what I'm saying is, here's the thing, because you talked about pools, being in pools, and you talked about Property Rich, you talked about not understanding borrowing Bitcoin, right? So I hope you got my part about the Bitcoin thing, right? The other part about pools is this. The way I see it, for the Flare network and the Flare economy, there are three people, especially right now. There are people coming into the Flare ecosystem, buying FOR so that they can solely get the flare drops. You understand? Because we got a liquidity incentive event going on right now. So there are people coming in, they're getting FOR so they can get the FOR drops, and they're going to be like, see you later when they're over. Right? Because it's just money. You understand? They're interested in that money part of it. You understand? Then there are people who have a little bit more of a vested interest, who are coming in and getting FLR, and they're wrapping it, and they are not delegating it. Because you can wrap it and get flare drops. Right? Then there are those people who are coming in, they're wrapping, they're delegating, right? Wrapping and delegating, right? Wrapping and delegating. And then there are people who are getting FLR, wrapping FLR, delegating FLR, and participating in DeFi in the Flare networks. Right? I do all of them. I don't do all of them with 100% of my FLR. I do all of them with some of my FLR. Everything's not zero sum. Everything is not 100%, right? Like my guy Steve says he has like 3 bags, right? One, he got it, wrap and delegate. He doesn't mess with it. He got another one that he wraps and delegates, does some stuff in DeFi, right? I think he has 3 bags. So it doesn't have to be zero sum, right? The reason why I talk about the different pools is because if you understand how to grow a blockchain, you need to grow the size of the network. You got to grow the size of the network, right? The reason why Flare Networks and whatever the foundation is, the reason why they're putting that money out there is to attract new users. Liquidity pools is one of the ways to do that. So I'm doing my part, right? The biggest value add to Flare Networks is the person who gets some FLR, wraps it, delegates it, and participates in the platforms on Flare Networks. That's the big value add. That is the biggest value add. But that doesn't mean that you got to get $10,000 worth of FLR and go put your $10,000 worth of FLR in a liquidity pool and put it at risk. That doesn't mean that. You take 1%, 2%, 3%. Why would you do that? Because you want to help grow the size of the network. You want to help grow the adoption of the blockchain. That's what you want. That's why I participate in liquidity pools. I want to do my part to grow the size of the network. You see what I'm saying? That's why. That's why I talk about Spark Decks. That's why I talk about Kinetics, because it's all about creating attraction for the blockchain and doing our part to grow it. And you can participate whatever percentage which you like, but I participate with less than 10%. But it's about growing, it's creating network adoption. Why would they be giving away or those emissions, right? That are FLR. It's about growing adoption. They're hoping that it's a subset of those people that are coming there that are going to stay there, right? In addition to that, DeFi is just a big value add anyway. Right? It's a big DeFi. DeFi is a big value add for the vast majority of retail anyway. I'm a firm believer in DeFi. And Celsius is not, Celsius is not DeFi. Celsius was a yield platform. It's not DeFi. Right? DeFi is smart contract, self-custodial, right? Celsius, what they call was CeFi, right? Centralized finance. So my 1 million is now 3 million. So I brought it at the bottom, me selling a house, not my home. Like I said, I'm a property developer selling a house. Okay, so you sold a house. I got it. That's cool. And I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just saying I wanted to cover those comments because they were a little alarming. So I wanted to address those. But I'm not telling people, what do you mean? I'm telling people to buy the top. I'm not sure what you mean by that. You are telling people to buy what do you mean by I'm telling people to buy the top? B says, did you take away anything from Munger? God rest his salty soul. Yeah, he was fun to listen to for sure. Legendary says, I'm doing everything I can with FLR. I hear you, my guy. I'm 100% wrapped, 100% delegated, about half state, farmed and pooled. I hear you, my friend. So you had 50%, right? B says IDGAF, Ape Life. XP Market just rolled out their user incentive. XP Market's doing their thing, huh? I'm sad to say I don't think I own much XP tokens. I haven't been fully engaged. Let me see with XP Market. So, oh, you're telling people, no. I said that those dudes, I know what you mean now. I think you're telling people to buy. Are you talking about Bitcoin or are you talking about FLR? I'm going to make sure. Property rich. Because what I was saying is that these hedge funds and these institutions and these high net worth individuals were saying that the best risk adjusted return asset was Bitcoin at 65K. I'm not telling people to buy Bitcoin. I'm telling you what they said. They said that the best risk adjusted return asset was Bitcoin at 65K because it checked all the boxes, which means it checked all the upside boxes, it checked all the downside boxes, and that was their assessment. That's what I said. I think that's what you're talking about. Nope, that's not what I want. I'm in the wrong. Wow. Yeah, because the guy from XP Market B put out that XRPL traction report. Remember that? What we got going on here? Backed by Ripple along with Orchestra. XP Market just rolled out their user incentive backed by Ripple along with Orchestra. Is that right? Okay. Like I feel like maybe I got some XPM coins. I did get some XPM coins, but I haven't been engaged in the ecosystem. I don't know much about them. But that traction report is really nice. I know the CEO and founder, he did follow me on X the other day after I covered his report. Now, I covered his report on my YouTube channel, so I don't know how he knew that I covered it. But he also said if you have any questions or if you want to add any input to let him know. He did that on X. Nick Bellissimo, how are you, bro? Bellissimo. What's going on, Nick? How are you? No, and I think it's important also too, Pookie. Pookie says this is the kind of dialogue we need different perspectives. Yeah. And I think again, I said I would cover the comments because I think it's number one, it's important. People taking their time, energy, and resources to watch your stuff, listen to your stuff, and comment. You should respond. You should take some of your time, some of your energy to respond, right? And number two, it's always healthy to have good back and forth. It's always good to have different perspectives. And I'm just, it's always good. I'm sharing my views and what I'm learning. I've said time and time again that I'm on a journey of becoming a sophisticated investor. I've said time and time again that we have to know the game we're in. Like it's important to understand it. And if you're not, in my humble opinion, most people don't know the game that they're in. And most people are not willing. One of the smartest things you can do is figure out all the downside to the thing you just got. What is the downside? What are the potential downsides? What if F assets don't work? What if it functions slowly? What if there's a massive bog down, slow down? Like, do we know? We don't know. Have you thought about that, considered it, pondered it? Like, you don't know. We're hoping. I said that before. We're hoping. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with uh it's too early. I mean, the foundation could change, the CEO could change. There's all these other things that could happen. We don't know. It's new. It's new. It's new to layer one space. It's new to becoming the blockchain of data. Like, you don't know. B says, what if crypto failed? Crypto might fail. You do know that there's a push in Congress right now to get rid of all digital assets except for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, like Congress people. Yeah, like big time PACs and lobbyists. Like, you don't know. No, property rich. That's not what I said. I said that I was not going to buy FLR until I shored up my position in DeFi. I was not taking more dirty, nasty fiat to buy FLR. I've already spent dirty, nasty fiat at FLR below a penny, bro. Below a penny. I've already bought FLR. What I said is I'm not going to continue buying FLR until I shore up my positions in DeFi, because I have positions in DeFi that I have to keep safe. And 2026 is not going to be a top. 2026 is when we're going to be, in my opinion, is when we're going to begin the bear market. 2026 is when we should begin the bear market. Now, it might be the latter part of 2026, but 2026 and 2027, we're going to begin to begin the bear market. It's kind of how I see it, right? We'll get 2024, we'll get 2025, it's going to be, the latter part of 2024, October, November, December. We're going to get all of 2025 with some corrections in there, those 30-40% corrections while we're still bull running. And in 2026, things will start to taper off. They'll start to taper off. They'll start to taper off. The altcoins, of course, will follow Bitcoin down, and that might be the latter part, mid to latter part of 2026. It's kind of how I see it. I don't think the bull run continues on in 2026. I don't think the bull run continues on in 2026, right? So ultimately, the way I see FLR is it's in the 10% pool. Now, some of you might say it's in the 30% pool. Some of you might say, no, it's in my 90% pool. What I'm saying, for me, FLR is in the 10% pool. So for every $100, I put $10 in FLR. For every $100, I put $10 into increase in my position in Undo. I put 10% into increase in my position into Polytrade, 2 RWA plays, right? I put 10% into Superverse, right? Increasing my gaming play, that type of deal like that. That's all. So it's not investing. It's how I invest, right? It's how I invest. Now, I feel pretty comfortable right now with my liquidity positions. I think BTC, yeah, I feel pretty good now, right? Big Money XRP says, my guns don't come with safeties. I hear you, bro. Property Rich says, there is no risk if you buy at the bottom. Hmm. Hmm. B and Bake Money are like, nah. Safety net. Nah, we're going for it, babe. There is no risk if you buy at the bottom. I bought all my XRP at 14 cents. I bought at the bottom, not the top. Yeah, I hear you, my friend. I mean, I don't agree with that. I think there's always risk. I think being in crypto is risky, right? So, I mean, I don't agree with that. I believe there's risk in any asset that you buy. You could buy a meme coin at the bottom. That doesn't mean there's no risk. There's still risk, right? Keston Sinclair believes DeFi Daddy wants me to give a price for Flare. Keston Sinclair says Flare at 5 cents end of year. B says 7 cents. Bank Money says to take the island, you must burn the boats that you came on. I hear you, brother. I just look. Here's the thing I'll tell you about burning the boats thing. Being in crypto and not in traditional finance, like that's burning the boats, bro. That's burning the boats. Like I sold all my stocks except for one. I sold all my gold and silver. I have one traditional financial product. That's it, right? TSP, 401k, see you later. No, all of that stuff. 100%. Well, I don't know what you would call that. 99%, 98% crypto. You got people like Dan Tapiero, Anthony Scaramucci, Raul Paul, 88% or higher in crypto. Now, I don't think that's as high as mine. I think I'm 90 something percent in crypto. Now we have cash flow businesses. Those are traditional businesses, right? So, I mean, we do have that, but those are marketing, sales and marketing businesses, but it's traditional business. It's not crypto. DeFi Diddy says 2030 flare at $5. I hope so. I hope so. I'm really, really excited. Again, I can't wait to have a measure of conviction like I have for XRP, that one 14 to 16 month time frame, even though I had owned XRP since 2017. But I went big in XRP, man. I mean, 4 figures a month, $1,000 to $2,500 a month, every single month. That's pretty big conviction. And I'm excited about having that conviction for the token FLR. I really, really am. But there is no way, shape, form, or whatever, or anyone could convince me that FLR has won the game. It hasn't won the game. It's out there competing. The nice part is it's kind of in its own lane. Like I don't think Chainlink and Band Protocol with their oracles. I don't. It's to me, it's not in the same lane. Flare it has a unique value proposition, we like to call it in business, right? And I love it. But in the end, this is my dirty, nasty fiat. And you have to prove yourself in the marketplace. Not just great idea. Prove yourself. Prove. What's proving it? Going live with some stuff, seeing what happens when stuff is live, getting the kinks out, getting the bugs out, creating network adoption, growing the size of projects coming on to Flare. Like for some reason, and I just don't understand, again, I don't understand this thinking. I don't understand this thinking. A $5 Flare token, right? 2030, someone said, 2030. A $5 Flare token in 2030 is a better risk-adjusted return asset. Than it is today at a penny. Like, ask any sophisticated investor that. You understand? And I'm hoping that freaking XRP is going to do its thing. I don't understand people having a problem with buying a $5 and a $10 XRP. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, the math is wrong. It's a better asset. Google today is better than Google freaking 20 years ago. It's a better bet. So is Tesla, right? NVIDIA didn't get its win until about 12 months ago. NVIDIA didn't get the win until about 12 months ago. It's about 20 something years. It's about 20 something years. It's not about just the return. It's about the risk adjusted return. How do you hedge that? 90%, 10%, 80%, 20%, 70%, 30%. I don't know, something. This is what the guys are telling me. I mean, I don't know. This is what they're telling me. Like, why would I have a problem buying Flare at $5? Like, right? It's a stronger asset 6 years from now and at $5. Right? You understand? It's not about getting the thing at the cheapest. That is not it. It's about the asset accruing value. Do you know how many projects in crypto have come and gone, bro? Like, do you know? All these projects that came in at a penny to 4 cents that are no longer here. It's not about buying at the low and selling at the top. We're not trading here, bro. We are investing. We're investing here. I guess that's the word that's what I should have said from the beginning. We're not trading. We're not day trading here. We're investing. If you really, really believe that this is the new financial system, the new one, you know what that means? It's replacing the one we're currently in. Don't you want to have assets that you're going to be leaving to your children and your grandchildren? B says, I'm disagreeing with the caveat being target audience. Yes. Right? Because you're right, because the audience that I'm talking about is the long-term investor, not trader, not swing trader, day traders. Then that's a different thing. I'm talking about investing, being an investor, right? So if you believe that this asset class is the new financial system, don't you want to have assets that you leave them? That's why we're here to assess that. That's why we're here. Just like back in the golden olden days, everybody was out to get the real estate, to get the land, because that the measure of wealth back yonder was land. It's not land anymore, though. Right? So anyway, I just wanted to cover that. I appreciate you guys checking in. Property Rich, I appreciate you checking in, bro. I wanted to cover those comments just to make sure I understand where you were, what you were thinking, and to let you know kind of where I was thinking, certainly to clear it up. Yo, Siege, where can I put my key if any place to get some yield? I don't know, bro. I think there might be some liquidity pools key on Enosis key. What did I say? There might be some liquidity pools, bro, for your key token on Enosis Global. Small business doctors is in the building. What's going on, bro? And by the way, if you're willing to pop your head up outside of the XRPL bubble and take a look around, I listened to Peter Dunworth, who is a he runs a family office business. So his thing is family office business thing. And he was talking about the difference between real estate and Bitcoin. And the difference. Small business doctor says key already gets yield when you vote. Oh, you were just saying just for some, okay. Small business doctor says family office. I need that contact. He's in Australia though, bro. I have a few apartment complexes to sell in Kansas. You have a few apartment complexes? You doing a real estate thing, huh? Hard, huh? But he was in an interview. So no pools. Okay, I could have sworn I saw a liquidity pool with KII. Small business doctor says there's no pools yet for KII key because it's just stake jewel. So yeah. Again, in my experience too about jewel and key, I don't have enough insight, right? Which is another reason why, Michael says thank you to you small business doctors, right? So that's kind of, how I see. But this guy was really talking about real estate and the difference between real estate and Bitcoin, and how when you put it all together, Bitcoin is the better play. When you put it all together, you have to consider all the factors. And Cardone is really on this whole Bitcoin real estate thing. I don't know. He's really he's really on the Bitcoin thing. Small business doctors. I don't know if you were listening in the stream when I talked about borrowing against my dividend paying cash value policy to buy Bitcoin. Were you on when I did that? Yeah, yeah, that would make sense. Jewel has pools, of course, and I'm sure more are coming. I'm hoping for a Jewel lending option one day too, but Kinetic says probably not on their platform due to it being a new token primarily. Yeah. I love my insurance policy. Great. So do you have a dividend paying cash value policy, Michael Marchese? So what I said, small business doctors, is that I was in a unique position where I could borrow money at 5%, and I was going to do a case study on borrowing at 5% and getting BTC because of the year-over-year return of Bitcoin and being the best risk-adjusted return asset in crypto, and doing a case study on that, how that worked, right? And I said I would not do it in a traditional finance way. In other words, I would not go to a bank and borrow to buy BTC. Because in my situation with the dividend paying cash value policy, oh, you do? Nice. Nice. Michael does have a cash value dividend paying policy. Nice. What I said, because of the advantages that I have in owning a company and owning this policy, I had significant advantages, like not having to go over an application review, like not having to sit in some office beside some dude half my age at the other end of the table, discussing whether or not I was worthy or not of a loan, of not having an option to not pay interest, of not having the option of not paying back the loan at all, right? So I was referencing that in the video that because I've had this unique advantages that I was going to leverage that to just, it was only going to be $1,000, right? To get another $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, right? Just a small amount. And then track that in 5%, 40%, right? Paying 5, up 40, up 50, whatever that is for BTC, right? With all the advantages, it was just, for me, it was just a smart move because of all the advantages. I don't know if those advantages exist in traditional finance where you're really beholden. All the advantages go to the bank or whoever you're borrowing from, right? Massively different. Michael says, I love my insurance policy, and yes, it's dividend paying. Nice, bro, nice. Small business doctor says, Siege, I'm selling some properties myself to roll into Bitcoin. Which asset you rolling that into, small business doctors? You rolling it into Bitcoin. Okay. The appreciation alone will outpace the RE evaluation as I see it, really, easily. And this is the same thing that what's the guy? The family office guy from Australia said the same thing. Because it's not about the return, it's about the best risk-adjusted return asset. That's what it's about. This is what I'm learning from hugely successful, sophisticated investors like Guy Spear. This is what I'm learning. So small business doctors likes my move. Says smart move with a bunch of exclamation points. Bitcoin will grow. Goodness gracious. Bitcoin will grow way more than 5%. That's my attitude. As well with some of my real estate properties. They won't grow as much as Bitcoin will soon. Well, I'm glad you got that, Michael Marchese. Now, and I recommend like you study up on strategies on how to use it, right? There's a YouTube channel. Gosh. Well, there's a young guy. His stuff is pretty good, a little more risky, but there's an older guy and he has a younger guy with him, but he's not young. Um, oh my God, they are R. Nelson Nash students. Both of them learned under R. Nelson Nash. Definitely get that book, Becoming Your Own Banker, if you have not gotten that book by R. Nelson Nash. You'll learn a lot about the dividend paying policy. You'll learn a lot about strategies and stuff like that. But good for you, bro. I hope it was structured properly. That's massively important. Is massively important. So you get the mutual insurance companies, you get the right policy structured properly, you can begin to leverage it really, really nice. I'm a big fan of them, but got to do your homework. You got to understand how it's to be structured properly. It's important. You get the ones structured not the best way, then they become hugely expensive and not great. So hopefully you got that structured the right way. Small business doctor says Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Right? Oh, you put some of that term into your whole policy. Nice. Yeah, that's a good way. Yeah, Northwestern, cool. Yeah, I think we do ours with uh Lafayette. But yeah. Good for you. Good for you, right? So that's kind of how I see a thing, right? Um, Again, as much as I love Flare Networks, the asset FLR, it still has to go out into the marketplace and prove itself. As much as I love the whole blockchain for data thing, it still has to go out and make it work, right? And since I'm a believer in that vision, I participate in DeFi over there. Not with 100% of my FLR. I would never do that. Just like 100% of my XRP was not on Celsius. A lot of it was, but it wasn't 100%. Right? So, and so I participate in the DeFi thing because I think the best value add is the person who gets FLR and then ramps it and then delegates it, right? And then takes some of that and they participate in Spark Dex and Kinetic, et cetera, because we want to grow the economy of Flare. We want to grow it, right? We want to grow it. So people start seeing TVL, people start seeing rewards that people are getting, right? All of these things help to grow that, bring attraction, bring new eyeballs, increase the size. That's what we want. That's what we want. So, I'll do my part. Just like when F assets come up, I'm not minting all my FS XRP. I'm minting some of my XRP until, right? It's not chasing the game. It's letting the game come to you. These are your valuable assets. You got to be, stuff breaks. What? Blockchain can't get hacked? What? There can't be some code that was missed? Why? Because it says Flare Network, there's no risk? There's still risk. Right? There's still freaking risk. So you gotta move accordingly. We got somebody from the channel. His name is Move Accordingly, right? You don't have to be 100% on there in a liquidity pool on SparkDex with all your FLR? Why? That's risky. That's risky. Now, if you understand the risk and you're cool with it, cool. But I'm just saying that's risky, right? Being 100%. Like my guy, small business doctor's got like 3 bags. Got 1 bag, don't touch, man. You know, just hanging out, just wraps, delegated, and that's it. It's just, you understand? That kind of stuff, right? It's not about, you know, again, it's about protecting for the downside as well, right? I'm happy that I got some FLR at less than a penny. I'm about 99% shored up on my liquidity positions, pretty much. I'll be able to get some more FLR. But it's still not, it's not going to change my weight though. If I get $100, I'm not putting 90 in FLR. I'm putting 90 into Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and 10 into FLR. It's not going to change for me. Like, it's not going to change. Some might be 80-20, some might be 70-30. It's not going to change this cycle. This cycle, it's not going to change. Next cycle, it might go to 70-30. What if AI starts proving itself out? What if the narrative, what is it? Sentiment, instead of meme coins, AI, slant gaming, RWAs. What if it flips? What if meme coins is number last now, and AI and gaming is first, RWAs are second, or RWAs are first, AI is second? Probably switched 80-30. 80-30, can't do 80-30. 80-20 or 70-30. Okay? Because this market, meme coins are number one. I'm not putting 90% of my money in meme coins. There's no way. Meme coin there is number one. I'll put 10% in. I'll put it in my 10% bucket. It's not going in my 90% bucket. Layer ones are layer ones. They're winning the game. Layer ones are winning the game right now, right? Right. And, you know, if you got a 10% bucket or a 20% bucket or 30% bucket and you got meme coins in there, if you're DCAing, that bucket in that 10, 20, 30%, it's growing, right? It's growing. You understand? If you're DCAing $100, $200 a month, the 10%, the 30% in the 10, 20, 30% bucket is growing every month. You could become a meme coin millionaire with a 30%, 20% bucket if you pick the right meme coin. You know? I bet you some of those WIF people and the bonk people and those Pepe people, I guarantee you that was their 10%, 20%, 30% stuff. And their low 10%, 20%, 30% is probably beating out their 90% bucket. It's possible. Legendary says, I've done well on memes and been slaughtered on them as well. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about risk-adjusted return. I think for the average Joe and Jane, splitting that $100 up to 90-10 is going to be majorly beneficial. What's the 10% about? At 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever. You get a chance to go all in on the research, the deep diving, figure out who that 10% is. How many people know about FLR like we know about FLR, about Small Business Doctor, Dan Rocky? Now the next part is learning the difference between being an investor and being a sophisticated investor. That's all. It's just learning that difference. And what I'm surmising is there's a difference between getting lucky and knowing what you're doing. Small dots, but it's not just there's not many people know, right? Right. I'm talking with a dear friend of mine. My gosh, she is. I'm like, oh no, don't do that. I'm like, please, like, just hang out, get you some Bitcoin, get you some Bitcoin, get you some Ethereum, and maybe just put a little some don't what nodes? Nodes? No. Bank Money XRP says I don't want to be average, right? Well, part of, in my humble opinion, of not being average is leveling up your IQ about the digital asset space and understanding the game that you're in. Like if this is the reason why I say it's not trading, why the game is not trading, is because 90 something plus % of people lose money trading. Like they just, those, not my numbers, by the way, the numbers. So whether it's day trading or swing trading, they lose 90 something %. Why be in that deal? I'd rather be a long-term investor. Long-term investor requires getting assets that give you the best risk-adjusted rewards, piling up the wins, and eliminating the losses. Again, no one can tell me that they haven't heard or saw someone say, well, Ethereum is only going to give you like a 5x and Solana is going to give you like a 15x. No one can tell me they haven't heard or seen that on X or something. I believe there's a challenge for people scoffing at a 7, a 10, 5x. I think there's a challenge with that. I don't know. I just feel like that 90%, 10% is such a good way of looking at it. And as the asset class grows and grows, and we begin to weed out stuff, right? As it grows and matures, we begin to weed out stuff, right? We can, 90-10 can become 80-20 to 70-30. Why? Because we weeded out stuff. Where's meme coins going to be? A meme coin is going to be around next cycle? I don't know. Here's what I do know. It ain't going to be 15 to 25,000 meme coins launching a day. A day? Yeah, it's like 15 to 25,000 a day on this pump.fund. And by the way, all those meme coins are taking liquidity from layer ones, from AIs, from gaming, from RWAs, from DeFi. You understand? There's only so much liquidity. There's only so much liquidity. If the meme coins are, it's the number one thing right now, and it's taking all this liquidity, what's left? And if you got this left, does your thing fit in those? And if they fit in it, are they winning in that? Is your layer one play the number one layer one play? Number one in that it's garnered network adoption. What about your AI play? Has it garnered network adoption? Your gaming play, your RWA play. It's not just about the upside, fam. What I'm learning is it's not just about the upside. It's about protecting for the downside. All right, fam. So there it is. Listen, I'm gonna hop off. I appreciate you guys checking in here for sure. It's been a really, really cool hang. It's always good to have a good back and forth. And we can always agree to disagree. Nothing wrong with that, right? Property rich, nothing wrong to agree to disagree. We got to always make sure too, in that back and forth, that we're clear on how the other one's thinking, right? And you notice what happened in this chat? There was no derogatory calling someone a name, not from me and not from the people in the stream. You understand? That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to go. Right? Property Rich is a fan of the channel. It's okay. We have a disagreement. In the end, we want to win here. We're trying to win. We're trying to create wealth and generational wealth. It's not about being right. So there it is, fam. Big money XRP. I don't want to be average. I hear you, my guy. I hear you. So listen, I'm gonna hop off here. I appreciate you guys checking in. Do me a favor, if you didn't hit that like button on the way out, would you hit it on the way out? If you didn't hit it on the way in, can you hit it on the way out? That'd be super, super cool. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. That's one of the great ways to get this channel out to more people who don't even know that this asset class is being built right underneath their nose. They're struggling with inflation and the debasement of their currency, and they don't know why. Hitting the like button will help to get the channel out so we can help educate them on what's really good. And do me a favor, if we've got about 45 to 50% of people who are hanging out, listening to the Crypto Siege and haven't subscribed to the channel. If you happen to be one of those people that are doing that, we're trying to get that number from 50% down to about 25%. You can do your part right now by just hitting that subscribe button and helping us get to that goal. And don't forget to ring the notification bell, baby, so as you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.